Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to Dragon Age Origins. We finally recovered the fabled Ashes of Andraste, and I don't know about you, but I am ready to relax with the party. So before we travel back to Redcliffe Castle to deliver those ashes to Arl Eamon, which will hopefully cure him of his illness, we will first go back to the camp to rest, relax, and unwind after our journeys up in the Frostback Mountains. They were certainly perilous and eventful, so I'm sure it'll be nice to sort of reconnect with the party again now before we move forward. So, let's take some time to chat with everyone. What's going on, Zevron?
Here I am.
Here you are. Let's discuss something personal.
Again? I'm game.
Oh, never mind. My only option is to tell him to leave, so NVM. What if
Here I am.
we just say care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training.
There goes Muffin barking in the background, as usual.
Endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
You did quite well, no doubt.
Within the crows, I did. But it has been something the crows have devoted a great deal of time to perfecting. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
That sounds like it could be useful.
See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
Sounds good, Zebron. Oh, what are you... Did you just pick a piece of dirt off my shoe? Thank you. How polite. Wow, a free shoe shining from our pal Zev. Now, as I mentioned last time, guys, I unfortunately didn't get it on video, but the last time I came back into camp, which was briefly in the middle of Andraste's temple to get some potions, Wind actually approached me and told me, I want to say a fun fact, but I guess it's not so fun for her. She actually died when the Circle of Magi was attacked, and a benevolent spirit is currently inhabiting her body and keeping her alive. So that's obviously a lot to take in, and let's see if we can talk to her a bit more about it.
What's on your mind?
Why did the spirit choose to help you?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
What about demons?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Do spirits watch people like that?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
You're very lucky.
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield.
It's like she had a real-life guardian
safe.
angel.
And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
So this spirit of faith is your personal protector.
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance. and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
I'm gonna say, I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of your time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare him for the task that is yet before him. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger wagging.
That will be something to see indeed.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
That's such an interesting story, right? Because most of the spirits that we encounter from the Fade are all evil. This is really sort of the first experience we've had with a benevolent spirit, so it's cool to see the different varieties of spirits that exist in the Fade, and cool to see how one has interacted with Wynn, so it'll be interesting to sort of see how that story unfolds. For now, though, we finished talking to basically, you know, our motherly figure, and now let's go to our loverly figure. Oh, God. Liliana, hey, girl, hey.
I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer.
I know what you mean.
I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The Darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows.
It is not silly to seek moments to lay down your burdens.
I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me.
You never have to feel afraid with me.
What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like
Is
a
this the moment?
peasant
Are we
girl.
about to get a
Some
girlfriend?
bard I am.
I'll say... I want to go with number 3 and say that we are more than friends. I thought that was obvious, but I also don't want to sound like a dick, so I'm just gonna go, you're cute when you're embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm just flushed because of the heat.
I really, I'll say I've always wanted us to be more than just friends.
Really? No one told me. You felt the same way and didn't do me the courtesy of informing me?
I'm
You
doing
only
that
said all
now.
these things. Why couldn't you have said them first? Oh, how very awkward.
I thought you were comfortable around me.
Well, yes, but don't question me. I am a woman, and I reserve the right to be inconsistent. Chivalry is so dead.
Now that's a
Who can
line.
spill her guts like that?
I'll say, so I like you, and you like me. That's settled then.
Yes, I am fond of you, and I care about you. And let's go about our business before the others suspect something.
I mean, Wynn already knows. She gave me a talking to. But guys, oh my god! What a nice way to unwind after all of those journeys up through the mountains with the cultists. We got ourselves a girlfriend. And that girlfriend has a giant wheel of cheese. What more could you ask for? Are we a cute couple? I think we're a cute couple. It's a little creepy how we have, like, the same hat. But, look at us! 2 lovebirds. Hell yeah! Let's go brag to Alistair about it.
Something on your mind?
Alistair, I have a girlfriend. I mean, I have some questions.
Of course.
What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
You've been a Grey Warden longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, you'll see.
He wouldn't tell you?
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret, it's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving, I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
I haven't felt anything like that.
Really? I saw you eating dinner the other day. Savage.
Excuse me? What? Take that back!
Fine, I take it back. But if you keep shoveling down our rations like that, the entire party is going to starve. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the darkspawn. We tap into their... I don't know what you call it. Their...
Muffin, can you stop barking for 2 seconds, please?
It's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
I've had some strange dreams.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live.
What?
Give or take.
No one told me this before?
It's a death sentence.
Wow, okay. That's kind of a big news to drop.
And die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
So I'm going to die.
We are all going to die. When Duncan told me, I was...
You think they would have, you know, told us about that before we drank the Darkspawn blood? Gonna shorten your life by like 50 years.
It's how you live. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. Well, there you have it.
Seems a high price to pay.
I suppose it is. We're the only ones who can stop the blight, however. Is there a price too high to pay for that? You know, Duncan... He started having nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
He will be remembered, Alistair, as will the others.
I know. Ending the blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
I guess. My goodness, that was... Just after I get a girlfriend, Alistair decides to tell me I only got 30 years to live. I mean, I don't know how old I am. Probably, like, early 20s. Let's say I'm, like, 22. I got till I'm 52. Oh, dear. Well, that dampened the mood a little. Thanks for that, Alistair. Go talk to our cheery friend Stan. I'm sure he'll brighten the mood.
You called.
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
Oh, I have nothing to discuss.
Then I suggest we move on.
Okay, bye!
As you wish.
Great talk. And our hermit friend Morgan, all the way over here.
I await your command.
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
Glad you think so.
And I am glad you are so glad.
Is
My
she
mother has
flirting
been
with
hunted
me?
from time to time,
Does she
yes,
know I just
by
got a
Templar
girlfriend? I'm not gonna
fools
tell
like
her.
Alistair, which should
I'm
tell
the
you
worst.
how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure.
What an interesting childhood Morgan had. Wow. Flemeth used you as bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl.
A
If I didn't
game,
get
she
the game,
says.
I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
I'm gonna say, what exactly is an apostate? I know, but I don't really want to say any of the other options, so we're gonna go with the escape route.
You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
I mean, fair enough. Like, if I were a mage, I might think the same. It's hard to justify having to live in a tower and be supervised your entire life.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Alright. Good talk. Ooh, she got a new ability. Apparently she disapproves? What? I thought that was a good convo. I thought we even flirted a little bit. I cannot read this woman at all. Alright then.
That smell. This is Antivan leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you found it, but thank you.
I just gave Zevran a pair of Antivan leather boots that I had in my inventory, and he is very happy about it. So you're quite welcome.
Now, if only you could find me a prostitute or two, a bowl of fish chowder, and a corrupt politician, I'd really feel like I was home. And they fit as well. Marvelous.
Excellent. Well, there we go. Zevran approves of those. And that actually updated his codex entry. Let's read it. Between the Tevinter Imperium, Rivian, and the Free Marches sits the nation of Antiva. Although it possesses few resources of its own, Antiva's location makes it a center for trade in the north, and the capital, Antiva City, is the wealthiest in the world. Antiva has virtually no army. The monarchy is too weak to support one. Most Antivans would be hard-pressed even to name the current king, as the true power lies in the hands of a dozen merchant princes, each with a personal army and each locked in a constant struggle for power against all the others. Anyone would think, then, that Antiva would be a ripe target for invasion by one of her neighbors, but even the Kunari leave Antiva alone for one very good reason: the House of Crows. The most efficient, most feared, and most expensive guild of assassins in the world calls Antiva their home, and their reputation alone defends the borders. Zevran was the crow contracted by Loghain to assassinate Alistar and Talon. One failed attempt later, however, he found himself at the mercy of his would-be victims. They showed him unexpected mercy, and in return he swore to aid the Wardens on their quest to end the Blight. Zevran shows an affinity for the finer things in life, hardly surprising for an Antivan crow, but his appreciation can be more poetic than he lets on. A simple bar of refined silver or gold, uncomplicated by a craftsman's hammer, is elegantly valuable. Which, if we go to our gifts here, small gold bar, which we can give to Zevran, which we know that he likes.
You have excellent taste.
Thank you. Thank you. We also got a golden demon pendant, which I feel like Morgan probably would like.
A fine gift.
Yep.
You have my thanks.
We also have a book called Discovering Dragon's Blood, Potions, Tinctures, and Spicy Sauces! Would you like this as well, Morgan?
Interesting.
Okay. That gave some more new abilities. Alright, so we checked in with everybody at camp. Let's get going back to Redcliffe now to hopefully save Arl Eamon. Luckily, there was no problems on the road getting here. Wynn is going to put us in rock armor before we go in, which I mean better safe than sorry, I suppose. As you can see by the bones in the courtyard, we've definitely had a fight or two here in this castle, but hopefully things are back to normal now. Hello? We've got the ashes!
You return. Might you have news?
What is Arl Eamon's condition?
Unchanged, I'm afraid. We've tried more magical healing, but nothing works. As time passes, I become more and more convinced the urn might be our only hope.
I found the urn.
You have? Wonderful. Let us go at once to Eamon's side and see if the urn's healing powers live up to their reputation.
A moment of truth.
Where am I?
Be calm, brother. You have been deathly ill for a very long time. Do you remember nothing?
Tegan? What are you doing here? Where is Isolde?
I am here, my husband.
And Connor? Where is my boy? Where is our son?
He lives. Though many others are dead. There is much to tell you, husband.
Dead? Then it was not a dream.
Much has happened since you fell ill, brother. Some of it will not be easy for you to hear.
Then tell me. I wish to hear all of it.
It's a long tale.
This is most troubling. There is much to be done, that is true. But I should first be thankful to those who have done so much. Grey Warden, you have not only saved my life, but kept my family safe as well. I am in your debt. Will you permit me to offer you a reward for your service?
I need your help against the Blight. That will do.
I understand, but regardless of your motivations, I feel you are worthy of a reward. I would like to honor your efforts. Nothing more.
As you wish, then.
Then allow me to declare you and those traveling with you champions of Redcliffe. You will always be a welcome guest within these halls. And for you, Warden, a shield of the same make as those that have been given to our finest knights.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We should speak of Loghain, brother. There is no telling what he will do once he learns of your recovery.
Loghain instigates a civil war even though the Darkspawn are on our very doorstep. Long I have known him. He is a sensible man. One who never desired power.
I was there when he announced he was taking control of the throne, Eamon. He is mad with ambition, I tell you.
Mad indeed. Mad enough to kill Cailan, to attempt to kill myself and destroy my lands. Whatever happened to him, Loghain must be stopped. What's more, we can scarce afford to fight this war to its bitter end.
But you can unite the nobility against Loghain, can't you?
I could unite those opposing Loghain, yes. But not all oppose him. He has some very powerful allies. We have no time to wage a campaign against him. Someone must surrender if Ferelden is to have any chance at fighting the Darkspawn.
Loghain must capitulate, then.
I agree. Loghain will pay for his heinous crimes, but our armies must be reserved for the Darkspawn, not for each other. I will spread word of Loghain's treachery, both here and against the king. But it will be but a claim made without proof. Those claims will give Loghain's allies pause, but we must combine it with a challenge Loghain cannot ignore. We need someone with a stronger claim to the throne than Loghain's daughter, the Queen.
Are you referring to Alistair, brother? Are you certain?
I would not propose such a thing if we had an alternative, but the unthinkable has occurred.
You intend to put Alistair forward as king?
Tegan and I have a claim through marriage, but we would seem opportunists no better than Loghain. Alistair's claim is by blood.
And what about me? Does anyone care what I want?
You have a responsibility, Alistair. Without you, Loghain wins. I would have to support him for the sake of Ferelden. Is that what you want?
But I... No, my lord.
I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. Then the business of fighting our true foe can begin. What say you to that, my friend? I do not wish to proceed without your blessing.
My blessing? Why do you need my blessing?
None of this would be possible without you. You led Alistair here. You saved my life with the Urn of Sacred Ashes. It's your lead I follow. I am a credible enough figure in this nation to call the Landsmeet, but I hold no illusions that I could face Loghain without you. Surely you see that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the respect that he's showing me after all the hard work I went through for both him and his family. What's stopping Loghain from just attacking Redcliffe?
Why do you think he had me poisoned? He wanted me gone without having to confront me directly. If I call for a Landsmeet, refusing the compromise and attacking Redcliffe will only support our accusations. I'm sure he'd rather I died from the poison. Had the demon not interfered, that's exactly what would have happened.
What are my other options?
You have already found allies, but we need those to fight Darkspawn. I truly believe the Landsmeet is our best option. We could attempt to wage a military campaign against Loghain, but even if we win, would we have enough left to defeat the Darkspawn?
No, but neither would Loghain.
Perhaps Loghain gambles on this attitude, that everyone will decide facing the Darkspawn is more vital than facing him, so that he leads us against the Horde.
Do you think this Landsmeet idea will work?
That depends. If we cannot get a consensus in the Landsmeet for Alistair, we cannot afford to oppose Loghain either. Does that mean Loghain could win? A man who killed his own king, who has gone mad with power? Perhaps. We must see that he does not.
What about the Darkspawn?
Ferelden must stand united to defeat the Darkspawn. A fractured nation will not defeat the Blight, even given my army and those gathered with your treaties.
I guess it seems we have little choice.
Very well. I will send out the word. But before we proceed, I believe there is the matter of the mage, my son's tutor. He still lives, I understand.
He does. He is in the dungeon, brother.
Have him brought here, Tegan. I wish to see him.
Ooh. Interesting to
Jowan,
see what he's going to do with him.
Is not in question. You tried to assassinate me and set into motion a series of events that nearly destroyed everything I cherish. What have you to say in your own defense?
Nothing, my lord. Other than to say I am sorry. I expect no mercy for what I have done.
I see. Grey Warden, have you anything to say on Jowan's behalf?
I'll say he has cooperated willingly, though he has had little choice.
You damn him with faint praise, I see. Then there is nothing more to say. Jowan, I hereby sentence you to death. May the Maker show you the mercy we cannot.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, back to the matter of the Landsmeet. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. I would prefer to wait until that is done before calling the Landsmeet. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties. We will need all the allies we can get if we are to defeat the Darkspawn Horde.
Alright, so we got an achievement unlocked, the Hero of Redcliffe. Our codex has been updated for Arl Eamon. The Arl's life was saved only by the most extraordinary measures, finding the urn of sacred ashes, the remains of Andraste herself. That was some poison they gave him, if that was the only way they were able to cure him. But okay. So, we are... Where we are now is, obviously, we're going to try to do a political maneuver to get Loghain out of the way, which hopefully will work. It makes sense. If we deplete our armies fighting against Loghain's armies, then we have nothing left to fight the Darkspawn. It does make sense. Hopefully it will actually work, because if Loghain actually gets away with all his treachery, I'd be so mad. But before we go and sort of do those political power plays in Denerim, we're gonna go try to get more allies. So we need to try to get the dwarves on our side as well as the elves. So before we tell Aiden that we're ready to go, we're gonna go to either Orzammar or to the Dalish elves. So before we do that, let's just see if any of these guys have anything else to say.
You have restored Eamon. I am most grateful. It's up to him what happens next. If anyone can force an end to the civil war, he can.
My husband lives thanks to you. I am grateful.
We are still not yet ready to call the Landsmeet, Grey Warden. Pursue your treaties and return with new allies, if you are at all able to.
Alright, fair enough. I understand. While I'm gone, I really suggest you, like, get a broom and maybe get rid of these bones, you know? Do a little tidying up while I'm gone. But in the meantime, we'll get out of here.
Yes, that's the way. Now, God.
Get soldiers out. Practicing. Life is sort of returning to normal here in Redcliffe Castle, which is good to see. Preparing for the fight ahead. Now, as to where to go next, as I mentioned, we can either go see the dwarves or the elves. So, in terms of where we go next, we can either go to the back towards the Frostback Mountains, which is where we kind of were at the Temple of Andraste, which is where the dwarves are. Or we can go to the Breckelen outskirts over here, which is where the Dalish elves are. Simply due to geography, Denerim is right here. I feel like it almost makes sense to go to the dwarves first, then go to the elves, then go to Denerim, you know? Kind of go 1, 2, 3. I really don't think it matters either way. You know, this is totally open. I think, however, before we actually get to the dwarves or the elves, I'm gonna do one of these 3 yellow DLC side quests. So if we go to the dwarves here, you'll see along the way there's a place called Sulcher's Pass. And if we go to our journal, go to our premium content section, we need to journey to Sulcher's Pass for one of our quests here, where a troubled merchant awaits with a deal that may just be too good to be true. So I think what my plan is going to be is we'll go do this premium content, as they put it, here in Sulcher's Pass, and then make our way up to the Frostback Mountains to see the dwarves. So this will be super exciting, obviously, to go pursue a new ally in a brand new area of Orzammar where the dwarves live. So when we pick up next time, guys, we will head out on our journey, which will hopefully be lots of fun. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you guys again real soon.